and the hotel bill she found with my name on it. At 6:03 a.m., my girlfriend slid a hotel receipt across our kitchen island like a knife wrapped in stationery. "Thanks for staying with us, Mr. Hale." It began in that font hospitality uses to suggest absolution. "Bellwether Hotel, room 804, 2 breakfasts, 2 robes charged unreturned, minibar, 1 salted almond tin and a half bottle of Chablis. Checkout signature, mine." I had not stayed at the Bellwether last night. I had stayed in our bed, mouth open, one leg out of the blanket, with Ria's hair heavy across my shoulder, and the oscillating fan interrogating the ceiling every 20 seconds. "Forwarded to me from an anonymous account at 5:58, Ria said. "She runs a tenants clinic that turns broken elevators into court orders. I manage other people's fires and keep keys for doors that pretend to be complicated. Between us, we respect paper, especially lies printed on it." "Say the word," she said. "Honeysuckle," I said, and the stupid password did its small, clean magic. The room returned to ours. She held the folio up to the light. "Room 804, she repeated, 2 breakfasts." I ate noodles at 11 and tried not to throw a stapler at the planning agenda, I said. "And then I sat on you until your mouth remembered something older than the city," she said, which is how she forgives me for confusing anger with fuel. The folio listed a corporate rate tied to my firm. At the bottom, a QR code for seamless expense capture, a line in faint gray read, "Paperless copy sent to primary contact on file." Whoever had sent Ria the folio hadn't stolen anything. They asked the Bellwether to do it for them. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. A photo of the same folio with a line typed above. "Consider sitting this one out for dignity, Sable Murmur." Of course it was Sable. Murmur Labs sells shortcuts as strategy. Tonight the council would vote on Verdant's newest contract trick, label 3 hotel floors micro-wellness residences, and call them housing. We'd killed versions of it twice. Verdant had learned. They hired Murmur to buy time with small scandals while Crown supplied the tech that made the lies behave like weather. Ria put the folio back down and tapped the room number. "Let's go ruin breakfast," she said. "Jono lives above a bakery and keeps a laboratory where other men keep their midlife crises." By 6:27 he had the folio blown up to a cathedral of pixels. "This is a real invoice," he said, grimly satisfied. But the room wasn't occupied. See the deep clean column. Housekeeping codes 804 as offline for ductwork. Charges are virtual. Someone used your corporate rate and the Bellwether's expense API to generate a paper ghost. "How?" Ria asked. Jono circled a tiny watermark by the QR code. "Crown," he said. "They've got a new hospitality ledger that lets partner orgs pre-clear folios for seamless reconciliation. If Murmur has your rate from a previous stay, they can post a hold and generate a folio with your signature on file. The house won't notice until the night audit, and by then the rumor has already eaten breakfast." I imagined Sable's mouth-turning process into a lullaby. "The unreturned robes," I said. "The breakfasts." Jono grinned without humor. "The part that makes a story fun to tell," he said. "I can also tell you who sent it. The mail header says Kira." "Head of experiences," Ria said. "Sky Lobby." The Bellwether sits on the river like it knows storms are for other people. We took the elevator to the 38th floor and found Kira at the bar with a folder and the expression of a woman whose day had grown teeth overnight. "I sent the folio," she said before we could ask. "I didn't make it. Verdant booked Sky Lobby for a salon tonight. Sable asked for a courtesy copy of any folio generated with your company's rate. I gave her one and felt my job die a little. Then this morning I remembered I like my job more than I like being useful to thieves. Ria slid the paper back across the bar. Room 804 was offline, she said. Housekeeping codes don't lie, people do. Kira's mouth tilted. Housekeeping is my favorite religion, she said. She opened the folder. Inside, the bellwether's internal maintenance log, 804 sealed, ducts exposed, and a screenshot from the night audit showing a hold placed and released without a key ever cutting the lock. Crown's ledger did the rest, she said. An expense artifact without a body. And you sent it to us, I said. I sent it to her, Kira said, nodding at Ria. Because she doesn't trade calendars for gossip. Because you two show up with verbs when other people bring adjectives. And because Sable told me to invite you not to be inconvenient tonight. Ria looked at Sky Lobby like she could see the evening's shape already. Donors performing curiosity, canapes whispering consent, Verdant's counsel saying vibrant 3 times, and a chair being told to postpone for dignity. We're bringing the ductwork, she said. You bring the log. Kira smiled fully now. I'll bring the bartender, she said. He loves to testify when it rains. We left the lipstick of Sky Lobby to people who confuse elevation with ethics, and went to 804 because paper lies less in rooms than it does in emails. The hallway smelled like plaster and apology. The door had a strip of painter's tape across the handle. Behind it, ladders, a sheet of plastic like a held breath, a coil of cable that would never be flattered by a robe. Whoever had used the hotel's ledger to confess on my behalf had never been up there at all. Crown sells ghost sheets now, Ria said, and took a photo that would become a slide before lunch. We still had 2 hours before the chair's aide would text bring that. We used them the way people do when a day tries to rename them. Ria pressed me into the hallway and took my belt out of its loop like a verdict. It wasn't obscene. It was a domestic ordinance. She climbed into my lap and put her mouth on the hinge below my collarbone and set rules I was grateful to keep. When she whispered, say it, I did, because consent is magic that works even when legislation doesn't. Honeysuckle. By noon, we were in the chair's office with our packet, the housekeeping codes, the maintenance log, Jono's pixel sermon, the API line from Crown's hospitality ledger, Kira's email admitting she had done something she wasn't proud of on purpose, and a printout of Sable's text asking me to sit out for dignity. The chair read, then set the folio on her desk like a bug under glass. We are not postponing because a vendor learned to forge breakfast, she said. Bring your hinge. Bring your boredom. We will vote. Boredom is what you bring when you're going to outlast someone who wants to narrate you. I love being boring in rooms that think they're important. The hearing room felt like a throat clearing. Verdant's counsel said micro-residences and wellness, and the hair on my arms tried to leave. Crown's local manager looked like a man who was beginning to miss being a thermostat. Sable leaned against the back wall like she'd invented both adversity and a skim latte. Mr. Hale, the chair said. I held up the folio and then the photo of the exposed duct. This paper is an invoice for a night that never happened, I said. Crown's ledger lets partners generate folios without bodies. Murmur sent it to my girlfriend at dawn and told me not to testify for dignity. Room 804 is a ladder and a plastic sheet. I was at home, being rude about the agenda and then not rude at all. We vote. We do not trade calendars for hospitality theater. Ria followed, sleeves rolled like a woman who had already sued 2 landlords and gotten a kid back in school by lunch. Clinic first, she said. Escrow with teeth. Cameras that do not ping near care. And no staged intimacy, physical or financial, as a lobbying tool. If you bring the word salon at a time like this, bring a broom. Kira did the thing I needed her to. She stood and said, steady, "Our brand curated a conversation. We did not curate a lie. Our logs show a hold and a release with no key. Our bartender will testify it rained on our string lights at 10:18. Crown's hospitality ledger is now turned off at our property." Someone in the second row applauded as if a plane had landed. The chair lifted a hand, and the room remembered how to be grown. "We vote," she said. The overlay failed. The ordinance we keep writing past. Escrow lands before anyone gets to call a spa a home. Crown's partner triggered. Ledger is illegal in any development agreement that touches housing. No cameras within a block of any door-marked clinic. And a small sweet line that should have been law in the year I learned to kiss. No staged intimacy in pursuit of public approvals. After in the alley, Sable leaned against a brick and watched the steam begin to choose an evening. "You are tedious," she told me like a compliment. "And she's worse," she added to Rhea like a blessing. "Bring escrow first," Rhea said, all warmth weaponized by accuracy. "Bring a lease where the clinic opens before a single key spins in a pretend apartment. Bring apologies with verbs. Otherwise, bring silence." Sable made a face like she'd just admitted to respecting someone. "Tell Kira I admire her timing," she said. "Tell Crown I admire their survival instinct. Tell the chair I'll see her next Tuesday with a trick you'll hate more." "You could stop," I said. "I could," she said. "You could, too." We walked home with our hands in each other's back pockets because rumor likes parades and I prefer ours. The neighborhood thread had pivoted to a photo of a cat that looks like a judge. Someone posted a recipe. Someone else apologized for liking drama. We taped the folio inside the cupboard with the other ugly receipts, door logs, air tags, QR menus, napkins from salons we'll never attend. Not trophies. Topography. Later, in the blue thinness before sleep, Rhea lay across me and pressed her ear to the part of my chest that answers questions without making noise. "Do you forgive me for the 9 seconds I believed paper more than you?" she asked. "I forgive us both," I said. "The point of a good lie is to find who still blushes." "You blushed," she said. "You make me," I said. There will be other folios, other breakfasts I didn't eat, other rooms that confess on my behalf and ask us to skip the boring necessary in favor of a scandal that buys someone a week. Crown will update a page titled Ethics in Comfort. Murmur will call manipulation culture and invoice a man who loves paying for weather. Verdant will hire a poet to rename a lobby. And we will drag the same packet into a different room and say the same sentences until they become Dacre. If someone slides a hotel bill across your kitchen island with your name and last night smeared on it, hold it up to the light. Check the ductwork. Ask housekeeping. Call the bartender who hates being lied to by rain. Say your stupid password. Kiss the hinge. Bring your boredom. Vote. Then go home and make a smaller, louder policy with the person who was actually in your bed. It fixes less than law but more than rumor, and it lasts longer than any brand.